Welcome to Nintendo Engineers. I'm your host, Chris Tysis. Now, this is a short little introduction to a little 20-minute video that I did in the middle of last year. And it shows you a little bit of Canberra, where I actually live. And I thought that some Nintendo fans would like that idea. And also, I'm talking about my own website, CT Creativity. It's sort of thoughts in my head about it in the middle of last year, and some of that sort of stuff has now come true due to the website being revamped and released now. But I thought you might like to have a look around where I live, and Canberra is the capital of Australia, which a lot of people don't realise that. They keep thinking it's either Sydney or Melbourne. So I hope you enjoy this little short movie, little short film, or whatever you like to call it, and check it out. I am just walking through a place called Glee Park. It's not a bad place. Oh, look at that. Looks pretty swish, doesn't it? I don't know what it is, but it looks alright to me. And just talking about Chris Tyson creativity and all that sort of stuff, and thought I would talk to you about the website and a little bit about how it all came together. And I thought it would be a nice little short film to just talk about a few things about the website and how it came to be. Because while it took a few months of planning this year, in 2017, I think there was definitely some other stuff that happened that put things together. My own website is about, writing and photos and videos and all that sort of exciting stuff. And I feel quite happy about how it's all come together now. So I'm relatively pleased about how it's all turned up. We're just going to walk through a garden. It's not really a garden, it's just a couple of plants. I'm not stepping on anything. But I'm quite pleased about how my website's turned out, guys. So I'm going to find a place and sit down and talk to you about how Chris Tyson's creativity came together. Oh, what a bit of a walk for me doing that sort of stuff. But I'm just here at a park, and I thought I'll talk to you a little bit about how Chris Tyson's creativity came together. And I guess when the new website came in, the new domain name came in 2017, I wanted to do more than just writing and doing stories and poems and things like that. And I've been obviously playing around with video and photos and that in the past, and doing other creative stuff such as you would say more like directing artwork and things like that. So I was happy about sort of expanding it from christysons.me to Chris Tyson's creativity, and I've been thinking about doing that for a while, probably since I did my childcare education studies in 2013, but I was never too sure what it was going to be about and what it would sort of entail, because I had other domain names in the past, like christysons.com and christysons.net, and they were fine and well, but they didn't work out for me. So I think I started to get some ideas when I started up Nintendo Engineers in 2015. It was supposed to be the 20th anniversary of my writing stuff, and I was going to do some writings and things like that. But it got on the back burner for 2 years due to doing, Nintendo type videos and doing that sort of stuff. And I had the Stir Grant, which I won, one of the lucky recipients. and I was very happy about that. But it just felt like when I was doing all the Nintendo Ninja News stuff, that my writings, my other creative stuff that I wanted to do was basically being neglected, you can say. So it was really, really interesting, to say the least, about what those issues were and things like that. And what are some of the stuff that I want to do with Chris Tice's creativity? And I think some of the stuff is, a bit of traveling and stuff like that, taking photos and videos of different things, and, getting story ideas from people and things like that. So I think there's some of the goals that I would like to do, and I think that's something that I would enjoy doing. So where do I go from here? My little walk around story. I think I might show you my old place where I wrote a lot of the Chichester storylines, and I did a couple form boards, and I lived there for a long time. But as you'll see, the building where it is not there anymore. But we'll see what it looks like nowadays, the area that I used to be in. But I'm quite happy about where things are with Chris Tice's creativity. But I'll keep on telling you more about how I put the ideas together. Well, you can see a little bit of it, and the buildings are gone. Where I used to live has been demolished. But over here, I just wanted to show you part of the skateboard place that looks like it's been upgraded since I haven't noticed the past few months. But it looks great, doesn't it? There's actually tops over here, so it's not too hot during the summer, but it looks wonderful, doesn't it? I used to come to the youth centre, which is just over there. There we go, the Club 1225 service. And I used to go there when I was young to see the doctors and people. But now I'm 31, 32, I'm very much too old for the experience. But yeah, I like the look of it. I think it looks great. Just some of the cool things you can see around here. This is quite funny. This just is part of the Alloa courts. Quite amusing, isn't it? It used to be the base of someone's unit, and now that it's not quite there anymore. Funny. Wow. Some of the new stuff. The building looks pretty snazzy, doesn't it? It's very nice. We're just looking at the big old tree that I used to look out and see all the time. It was a wonderful tree, and it's going to still be kept around. You can see some of the buds are growing for spring, when that comes around in only a month's time. But it was such a big, beautiful tree, and I was really happy that people wanted to keep it, because this is where my place used to be, but it's now basically this huge, this very flat land now. It used to be 7 storages. It was built somewhere in the 50s when public servants needed a place to stay, and then it changed over to public housing for the following decades, and the last 8 or so years when I lived there as a student. So I had to stay there for a long time because there was really no other cheap enough accommodation for myself. But you can tell that it was really good. It was a mix of good times and bad times. I did a lot of writing, I did a lot of form boards and stuff like that. But I also had, issues with clinical depression and anxiety and that was also pretty hard for me. It was also really difficult times. And I think I've gotten over the majority of those issues, but, they still rear its ugly head every now and again. You can't eliminate stress for your life forever. It would be a nice thing. Interesting that this place, this little spot here, has been kept around. This is still part of the old building. I'm thinking it's something to do with electricity, or something to do with power, water, or something like that. It's interesting. I haven't quite knocked it down. They've actually added something to it. But yeah, it's just amazing how it used to be all these really tall buildings, and it's all been knocked down now. So it's a little sad to see it go. But I guess progress has to be made in Canberra, and new places and things like that. It'll look wonderful once it's eventually built. But that's going to be the interesting thing. I think one of the main lessons I learned from living in Coorong apartments was really about, issues with my depression and what I kind of wanted to do as a writer and doing creative stuff, and also to, building up towards a career. I guess it was 2013 when I wanted to do childcare education and things like that, and it was really, really interesting. So hopefully times will get better. And I think they have in my new place. It's definitely more rowdier than Coorong, because they were all students compared to public housing. But, yeah. So there it is. The old place gone. Hey, we're just going for a little wander. We're going to sneak into the YHA, which is, one of the things I like to do is travel. So, yeah, which is pretty cool. There's one of the signs, which is oddly enough the backpackers place that I've never been to. So I want to go in and grab a map and show you a couple of things. I'll be back soon. Yeah. Where I live in Canberra, they're putting together a light rail train through sort of our middle street here. And it looks pretty cool. They're just barely starting it. But I'm quite happy about what it's going to look like in a few years' time when it's put together. I don't actually know when it's going to be completely built, but hang on. Going over the street. Metro stuff, things like that. Look at those things. Oh, shouldn't be running around so much. But, so they're putting something together here. Well, that's not too bad. I wonder what they're rebuilding here. Oh. The multiple departures. Let's go in here. Oh yeah, these are the Murray buses. It takes a while, doesn't it? Once an hour. 4 a.m, that's pretty good actually. This is the luggage room, which is interesting. It's locked, so you can't actually use it. Opening hours 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I'm guessing that you can't actually use it. But this is why I love going on the bus. It's free Wi-Fi, good seating, air conditioning, extra luggage. Do you like my buses? So here I am at sort of the Jollymont Centre, which is like a travel centre for buses and things like that. And I've always wanted to do travelling, and that's part of what Crystals for Creativity, my website, is kind of about. You could almost say that my website is almost like a life diary. in some respects, which is pretty cool. And the little accommodation guide, I normally go to YHA hostels because they're cheaper and you meet people, and I only need a place to really sit in a bed. So what we might do is just move my camera because a bus is coming through. Woo! So that was pretty cool, wasn't it? I didn't expect that. See, the bus just came up and tried to knock me over. So, as I was saying, and I might show you, is I'm just redoing this. This is all on the fly, you know. So, there we go. That's not going to quite make it, but oh, there we go. And everything's live. So this little accommodation guide thing. I've been to a couple YHA places, and I can show you a couple of them. Well, the Canberra one I've never been to. I've been inside the building, but never actually slept in the place overnight. Now, the Sydney one, if I can get to it, is the Sydney City one. And I've been there a few times. I used to go to a really cheap backpackers place over 10 years ago, but they got more expensive and they weren't of a very good quality. So I decided to go to YHA there. The only one that I don't go to is in Brisbane, and I go to a place called Tin Billy Backpackers, which is a pretty cool place to be. It's right next to the Roma Street train station, and it's very, very close. So I'm quite happy with that. But yeah, I've only been to just a few little backpacker places. Oddly enough, I've never been to Melbourne, so that might be one place I'd like to go to one day. But yeah, it's cool, and got some brochures and things like that. Just sort of thinking of ideas for next year, because this year is a bit hard on me. But I guess my work will be just building up the website and getting ideas and things like that. So yeah, I feel like this is part of what the website will be about. A little bit of travelling from time to time. And it's very, very busy. As you can, lots of people. So I am now back home from doing all that walk around in the park and things like that. And I just wanted to do a bit of an experiment sort of video to give you a bit of a taste of what's to come, and just explain to you just a little bit of the thought process about Chris Tice's creativity, and the whole idea of a creative journey in my own personal life. And that's what the website is all about, and wanting to travel and meet and discover different things. And I guess you can see in this video, a lot of it was sort of experimental, looking at things and testing out things. And I enjoy this camera. It's a really great camera, and I hope to have it for a number of years to use and enjoy out of and have fun out of it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and you understand a bit more about what I'm trying to achieve with Chris Tice's creativity. And of course, you have any questions, you can ask away. So, I'll see you around. See ya! Why am I waving? Oh, that's alright. It's the end of the video. Go. Bye-bye.